Hey there.
Hey, Hubert.
How are you?
Good, thanks. You? I'm Paul, by the way. I'm posting the split from the FX account.
How is the
How are you doing? You okay?
sound? Yeah. How is the sound? Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Good. Let's wait for ATeam to join. Cryptoprophet is here. Hey, Cryptoprophet. Hey, Kmets. Cryptovester, welcome.
Jim.
Hello.
Nice. All good?
Hubert, how are you, sir?
I'm alright. Busy day.
Good.
Distribution day. Busy day, but good day, always.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Paul, how are you, sir?
Sorry, yeah, I was tweeting from phone, and it's not the best experience. Not too bad, thanks. Not too bad.
Good.
Okay, DeFi advisories here, and Chago. Yeah.
All right. Get my notes up here.
Hello, guys. What's up?
Hey, welcome.
What's up, DeFi advisor? Hello, Chago.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you? Yeah, volume is a bit low, no?
Mine?
I can hear you, Chago.
Yeah.
Quite well.
I can hear Shago as well.
Volume is low on, I'm not hearing it as good as usually. As loud as usually. It's like the volume is too low.
From everybody?
Maybe it's you, DeFi advisor. I can hear all guys quite well.
For me, it's good also.
Quite well.
I can barely hear Kmets. The others a bit better. All volume buttons on my side are to the max.
I hear you wonderfully, sir.
Yeah, you do sound a bit quiet, Kmets.
Okay, hang on just a moment. Let me disconnect and reconnect.
Okay. Hey, Ben, Meta, Aero, AC, Borns, DD. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to be here, everybody. Cryptoprophet, how are you?
Good, sir. Good. Excited to be here. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Appreciate it.
Okay, do I sound any better now?
Yeah, pretty low.
Man.
Yeah.
Sounds okay to me, Kmets. You sound okay to me. I don't know why. It must be for some people.
Well, that's very bizarre.
Indeed. Yeah.
You're on the phone or the computer?
I'm on the phone. Everybody else sounds great to me.
No?
Can you use a computer now?
If for most people it's okay, then cool. I will do my best to catch everything you say.
Here, hang on. I'll go without the earbuds. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, much better.
Okay, there we go. Faulty earbuds, I guess.
Yeah, same.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. Glad to have everybody here.
Yeah, fun to be here with the Stakedao guys. What's up? Uber, Thiago, how are you?
Yeah, it's good. Just finishing a good bribe day, so it's always nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's very good.
Thanks for
Hope
having
we
us.
get to talk about it soon.
Shall we give everyone a couple of more minutes before we actually dive
Sure,
in?
yeah.
Yeah, we can wait for a few more moments for people to show up.
Yeah.
You guys can
All
share
right.
it if you want. I will also soon take like a few moments to try and share it wherever I can. And Kmets, I believe, will probably lead us through it as usual.
Absolutely, sir. Happy to do it.
What's up? How are you? How have you been, man?
Busy, man. It's busy.
Yeah?
You wouldn't know it's a bear market with how busy everybody is, right?
Maybe it's maybe it's because it's a bear market that everyone's so busy. Maybe
Oh, that's true.
we haven't been on the inside on a bull run, so who knows how it's actually.
You mean busy IRL or in your Kmets role?
Well, both really. Yeah. It's busy. It's busy every which way you look, man. But I like being busy. So good.
Yeah, I mean,
Cryptovesto, how are you, man? What's up?
Doing good, sir. How are you doing?
All good, all good. Nice to see you here. Nice to have you on board. Chago, what about you, man?
I'm good. As Hubert said, it was a long day for the bribe distribution, but everything is done now. So it's perfect.
Cool.
right. I think we can go ahead. I'll let Kmets take the ropes, and yeah.
All right.
See.
Let's do it.
Well, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. So we've got a pretty good crowd here. Welcome, everybody, to Twitter Space here with Aladdin and the FX protocol that has recently been released. And we had our TGA last week. And one of our important partners here, longtime partner, really, for Aladdin. And cornerstone of FX protocol is Stakedao. So happy to welcome both Hubert and Chago to the space. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And as you said, yeah, always a pleasure to be in the same conversation as our old Aladdin friends. So thanks for having us.
Absolutely, yeah. We're excited we can do this today, and so we've got a couple of the A-Team members on as well as myself, Kmets. I'm core contributor with Aladdin DAO, and additionally on the A-Team we have DeFi Advisor. What's up, DeFi Advisor? Oh, you there, DeFi Advisor? Oh. As well, we have Cryptoprophet. How you doing there, Cryptoprophet?
Hey man, pretty good. I'm actually very bullish going into the end of the year, so I'm just trying to get my hands on all the coins I can. Thanks.
Good luck with that, sir.
Please rub on me. If you want to sell, I want to buy. It's fine.
All right, there's your Cryptoprophet commercial for the space. So, well, let's go ahead and dive right into this then. So Hubert and Chago, maybe you guys could introduce yourselves to everybody here in the space and kind of give us a little background on you guys, your professional history, your how you got introduced to crypto and DeFi, and how you got involved with Stakedao.
Yeah, sure. So, story for me, I used to be I'm an engineer. Then I used to become an investment banker for a few years, and totally by chance, I met Julien Bouteloup, who most of you might know. Very well known in the French crypto community. and even abroad, to be honest. And so yeah, I became very friend with him. He made me discover DeFi, brought me to Stakedao, and that was a bit the start. And now, after a few years here, we've managed to do something which we believe is good. Totally changed the protocol compared to what it used to be. Now it's focused on several products. One is liquid lockers. Second one is vote market. And yes, so happy to dive in a bit deeper into those products later, probably. And with me is also Shago. So I guess Shago can introduce himself.
Yes, it's pretty much the same thing as Hubert, unless I met Hubert by chance, not Julien, and then it was like 2 years ago or something like that. And I think 6 months later, I joined Hubert at Stakedao, and since then we built the liquid locker and vote market. I think that's pretty much it.
All right, excellent. Thanks, guys. I'm curious. You're both French, is that correct?
Yes.
I'm curious. It seems that that France has a very strong DeFi community. Am I interpreting that correctly? Or is there like certain environments, financially or socially, that sort of like make it conducive for that? I'm curious if you guys can maybe expand on that.
Yeah, sure. So, in France we say DeFi the future of France instead of future of finance. I don't know if this is something that that is exported a lot, but yeah, we like to say that. However, I think we have a good community. I wouldn't say it's bigger than anyone else proportionately, though. Just very active people and a few good projects, I think, coming from France. I think about Angle, I think about obviously Morpho, Paraswap. You have some good projects which are really like France-based, and so I think it's probably linked to the fact that engineer school are such a thing in France, and people are really going a lot into these kind of good schools to do like computer science stuff. So probably the reason why.
Interesting.
Can I add something about that?
Sure, go ahead.
First of all, before when you approached me, I was sharing the message, so I didn't know how to unmute my mic as you were approaching. So I'm sorry to keep you hanging over there, but like I told myself, like I'm not deleting all this thing just on mute mic at the moment. I apologize. And regarding, first of all, I also think there's a huge French presence in the DeFi scene. Honestly, there's a huge Israeli presence, and on my front, at least, like from what I'm seeing, but definitely a huge involvement by many by amazing French builders. Token Bryce, Wireshark from Convergence, Subli, which is a co-founder of the ATeamDefi as well, and has been with us up till just recently, which is now working on Optimism. And in my opinion, a lot of it maybe I'm being too romantic and nostalgic about it, but I think a lot of it really actually is like the French culture, stuff like the French Revolution and all that kind of stuff. I think that some of this spirit actually, remains within nationalities. And in a way, I do think that a lot of the ideas behind the DeFi and decentralization and all that kind of stuff, I really think it fits very well with a lot of the stuff that the French culture has brought to, at least in the modern era. And I kind of see it a lot. Like I think Token Bryce, for example, is an amazing example for it. the way that he's so much after decentralization and all this kind of stuff, I really think he really emphasizes that spirit a lot.
Yeah, maybe you're probably right. Also, yeah, I don't know, but it's probably true actually. This kind of always protesting all the time kind of fits the spirit, right? But yeah, I think so. We have some good builders, and there's a whole bunch of influencers also, which yeah, sometimes are not as good quality, I guess. But yeah, I think at least the quiet guys that you don't hear much about, some of them are very good, and that's kind of something we can be proud of. But Stakedao is not French only, huh? I have to say. It's a decentralized product, and it's so. As a matter of fact, Chago and I are French, but it's not the case for all the team, of course.
How many people are working on the Stakedao team project, and from like how many places? Those you can share, of course.
Yeah, I mean, so the core team, let's say, it's don't like to say that because it's really like a decentralized product, but let's say that the what we could call the lab of people working on the development of the product, it's around 10, 11 people. And you have people in France, in the US, in Italy. So yes, pretty not super well spread, right? But still some variety.
It's early days. You'll get there. No, that's fantastic. We really appreciate the French contributors in Aladdin, especially from the Stakedao side as well. I found them all to be like exceptionally intelligent, very sharp, really have a lot of good ideas. So hats off to all of you. You French men and women that have contributed to the progression of DeFi. So we really appreciate that. I wonder if
Thanks a lot.
yeah, I wonder if we could maybe like you guys could talk a little bit about Stakedao itself, like the history of the protocol, how it's evolved.
Sure, would be a pleasure. So Stakedao, it was at first Julien Bouteloup, who founded Stake Capital. Stake Capital is a company that he created that was specializing in proof of stake, validation, etc. And that was in the very early days. And then DeFi came. He met Michael from Curve. He helped Curve in the early days, and then he had this idea of having a project built on top of Curve that would, basically allow users to benefit from Boost, Brand Boost, etc., etc. So it's basically Jörn had, he shared this idea with Jörn. They kind of built the same stuff together, and at the very beginning, Stakedao was this kind of Jörn-like player. It was the second project to be whitelisted on Curve. But on top of that, there were some proof of stake, validation business where retail users could delegate for validating transactions on several networks, etc. Then when Convex came in, they came with such a perfect solution on Curve that they kind of really, it really moved the market. They took such a dominant position on Curve that we had to react. And that's why we decided to refocus on one thing, which is this new product that we built, which is called the liquid lockers. And the liquid lockers what is it basically? It's liquid staking, but for governance token, right? So what you guys are all super familiar with Ethereum, so for example, Lido, Frax, etc. You can do the same for governance token with lockable tokenomics, right? And so we did that for Curve, we did that for other projects, Frax, Balancer, Angle. We now have more than 10, and the last one we added is FX protocol, and so we're very happy to provide this liquid staking solution for FXN. And yes, and since then, so since we changed toward these liquid lockers, we made a huge push towards decentralization, less reliance on the team, etc. And I think it's been quite successful. We have now we came from 3 million CRV that we managed to grab from the V1 of the protocol to now we are close to 60 million CRV, which is nearly 10% of the supply of the CRV. But we also have more than 50% of Angle. We have a good chunk of BAL, a good chunk of FXS, and we are number one, holders of the MAV. So yes, it's been very successful. We have probably the most competitive yield farming strategies on top of Curve, Balancer, Frax, etc. So yeah, I think it's been fairly successful. Of course, it was all deployed in bear market. So it just managed to keep the token stable, let's say. But at least we keep building in this bear market and hope that the next bull we will be prepared for it, right? And I think FXN is going to be a great addition to those liquid lockers.
How do you guys actually choose which liquid locker, which token do you guys want to add to the liquid locker list first? Like, what are the kinds of benefits or moats or advantages that you're looking for when you guys are considering to add a new token? Just like we're very happy to see that you've added the FXN recently.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So first thing we will look at, and this is more relevant for live projects, is the addressable market, right? The market cap of the token that we are going to offer liquid staking on, the amount which is already locked, because we cannot get people to lock with us if it's already locked directly. So that's number one stuff. We will look at whether we can deploy boosted strategies on it. So if they have some boost, if having the V token provides boost on some strategies, then we can provide this boost mutualization, which is giving us very good yield farming strategies, and which is the main way we make money. We will look at how easy it is to implement it. So if it's a pure curve fork, it's going to be very easy. Fairly easy to implement. But most projects like to do little changes. So we need to take that into account. And yes, and then for FXN, I think the reason was mainly, to be honest, is that we have been pretty amazed by what the Aladdin team has been doing in the past. It's kind of a bet, right? Like, they've been doing good stuff in the past. They have a good approach to tokenomics, which I like low inflation tokenomics, etc. And and they've been very helpful with SDCRV. You know, the ASDCRV is a yield-bearing wrapper of SDCRV, or liquid staking derivative for CRV, and it's boosted, and it's currently the best yield one can find on CRV in the market. I think it's a very good product, and it's basically the number 2 holder of SDCRV. So yes, we have this great partnership. So for us, it's kind of natural to support FX protocol and the Aladdin team in these early days. You know, kind of just helping the friends, right? And hopefully it will work out and be a great product. But also, we think it's an interesting product, right? Also, we look at that, forgot to mention, but we are trying to have a full range of services to offer to users going on Stakedao, right? So currently we have DEXs. As DEXs, we have Curve and Balancer and Maverick, right? We also have stablecoins. We have Frax, Angle, and we have also derivatives such as APY and Pendle, right? And now in the derivative, this kind of, between the derivative and the stable vertical, we will have FXN. So it's a new kind of addition. I would love to have a lending market, someday, probably. Maybe Clev could be, I don't know. But yeah, we try to have a broad range of interesting product to bring to our users.
I'm going to go ahead and let CryptoVestor know that Clev is not on the radar at the moment to be a lending protocol. We're just kind of spitballing here.
Okay, because I'm glad you said something, because I just thought I caught some alpha and I was about to go nuts.
I'm sure Stakedao's got some alpha for you, but that's not going to be. That's not one of them today. That's just a fun one to kind of speculate on. So.
Yeah, I was a bit like
thanks for reining me in. Thanks for reining me in.
No, so just so folks are kind of really clear on sort of the liquid lockers and how they work. So you guys only allow protocols with a VE tokenomics model for their governance token. Is that correct? And then somehow the SDT token is also involved as well with the liquid lockers. Can you maybe kind of walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the DNA of those liquid lockers is to have all the benefits of locking directly while not needing to lock directly, right? So obviously you always have downsides, right? Because we cannot the protocol needs to survive and get interest for the token, etc. But still, we have this objective to make sure locked token on Stakedao are as good as locked tokens anywhere else, right? So before we built the lockers, the best stuff you could find in the market was CVX-CRV. CVX-CRV, basically, the deal is you get the possibility, thanks to Convex platform, to sell your boosting power and to stay liquid. And so you stay liquid because there's a liquidity pool, and you sell your boosting power because your CRV is going to be used to boost the yield of the liquidity of the LPs on Curve, right? And you get a 10% fee out of that. So you're basically selling your boosting power, right? But the voting power goes to VLCVX. So it benefits the CVX token. So basically, you give away your voting power in exchange for liquidity and a simple way to sell your boosting power, right? But it turned out, when Convex deployed got deployed and created all this voting power was worthless, right? I mean, it was not worthless, but nobody was aware of the value of voting power, right? But it turned out, and they proved it, that the voting power is by far the most valuable, the most valuable side of those governance tokens. So we decided to do this liquid staking derivative, which keeps the governance power, right? And users can sell it for bribes or, I mean, vote incentives, or they can use it to boost their own liquidity. You can do whatever they want with it, right? But then at that time, people from Convex, Discord, they were saying like, but how is it going to benefit SDT? And basically the solution we came up to is that if you lock SDT with VSDT, basically you boost your voting power on, and also your SDT reward, but you mainly boost your voting power positively or negatively if you don't have VSDT at all on Curve, etc. So what does it mean? It means that, for example, if you have 0 VSDT currently, having an SDCRV is as good in terms of voting power as having a CRV locked for 2.5 years, right? But if you have a lot of VSDT, your SDCRV will be as good as 2 VCRV or 1.5 VCRV, right? So basically, this the power that VSDT brings is this kind of boost. It's okay to not have VSDT. It's just like locking CRV for 2 years, right? But staying liquid, so it's still very competitive. But yes, that's how we manage. And the good stuff is that the more you add lockers, the more this VSDT boost is useful. So we have, there are protocols who are very agile, use a lot of projects. Like, for example, we're talking sometimes to Swell Network, right? Swell Network, they are using Curve, they're using Balancer, Pendle, also Bunny, I think. They're using a lot of also Frax, a lot of those protocols. If they are using SD token, they can, with just like one VSDT, they can boost one of all of those tokens, right? At the same time, they don't need to add more VSDT. So it's very efficient if you use a lot of those protocols, right? And if they have some, I don't know, some treasury in FXN, they will be able to boost the treasury there. So I think it's fairly...
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Fairly interesting design, but would be happy to have your opinion.
DeFi advisor, Cryptoprophet, you guys have any follow-ups or anything that you want to ask Hubert or Chago about the liquid lockers or vote market or anything really?
I definitely think it's an original design, and I'm actually like very curious about like the different stats. Like, for example, which governance token are you currently most strong at? Like, what do you guys hold the most or the most of? Percentage of a specific token? Is it CRV or is it any of the lockers? I remember Uber, you said a few minutes ago that at the beginning of the space that you guys already own like 10% of the locked VCRV.
Yes, that's correct. So the biggest one is in a market share wise, it's Angle, where we have almost 60% of the V Angle supply. And after that, I think it would be, yes, Happy Wine, almost the same. And the Maverick one, we have, I think, around 30% of the total supply of the MAV. And after that, yes, it's the curve one. But in terms of
in dollar terms, it's
yes,
by
in
far
dollar terms, it's by far the curve one.
For sure. And do these and what's like the most profitable liquid locker for Stakedao users and SDT lockers so far?
So
it's a good question.
Most profitable, basically everything depends on the inflation of the protocol, right? Since most of the value comes from the voting power. Voting power directs inflation. So the more inflation it directs in dollar terms, the more value you bring, right? So currently, in terms of inflation, the biggest is Curve. The amount of inflation per week is approximately like issued and directed thanks to VCRV, so SDCRV, etc. Is approximately $1.5 million per week, right? Then you have Balancer, which has massive inflation as well, and the voting power on Balancer is also very very pricey. So it's you can see the yields on lockers.stakedao.org, but you can get on Curve you get approximately 30% yield. On Balancer currently you can get even more, like 30 to 70% yield. Then the third one would be Frax. Frax has much lower inflation, but still an existing bribe market. And then you have all the lockers who don't have gauge voting power, etc. And then it's just a way to get the access to the native yield without locking. So I don't know which one is the most profitable. Obviously, I'm not here to give advices on this. One thing I could add, because we didn't speak about it, is that we also have the other product which is complementary to this one, which is Vote Market. Vote Market is a vote incentive platform that we designed to be fully compatible with the liquid lockers, right? So it's fully on-chain, very efficient for both bribers and voters, and it's been quite a success. We have like nearly 100% of the VCRV bribe market, struggling a bit more in Balancer, etc. But when FXN pushes gauge votes and stuff, you should probably expect to have an FXN market as well on Vote Market.
Well, I think this was Alpha, Cryptovestor, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that one's pretty easy to extract, I think. So, no, I think just so folks know, Aladdin uses Vote Market quite regularly. And SD CRV. Gosh, we have, I want to say, over 1 million. Paul can correct me, but I mean it's a substantial amount that we utilize to incentivize liquidity. And so I think for protocols, Vote Market is a very important piece of infrastructure in terms of making sure that you're efficiently incentivizing liquidity if you're using these sort of bribe incentive utilities. So I think that's like really cool. Cryptovestor, I want to make sure you've been a very patient listener. I want to make sure you get a chance to get your any questions or anything that you have so far asked.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting, and that's awesome alpha. I'm a big bribe maxi. Even though obviously I tend to focus on the CVX side of things. I'm always very interested in what Stakedao is doing. I'm any locker to me is a locker that I love. So, and any protocol that locks CRV is dear to my heart. So, no, I think it's amazing, and I'm listening as much as I can.
Excellent. Cryptoprophet, what about you? Do you have any Questions or insights? Have you used these products? Your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I've actually used Stakedao a lot. Actually, I hold a little bit of Stakedao token also like locked in the protocol. I guess I would like to know like what do you guys see as like the next step maybe in like a bigger time scheme, Like for example, I think the world of DeFi kind of changed when Convex first launched, basically. And now we see like more lockers and everything expanding. But I wonder like what's like the next evolution if you get my drift.
Yeah, I think that it's a good question. I think now we are kind of reaching nearly 100% efficiency on the voting side, but despite Convex doing such a good job on the boosting side, I think there is still some improvement to explore on this side. And I'm not sure if you've seen the announcement we made in August. We're working on a product which is going to be out. It was supposed to be out in September, taking a bit more time than expected. But just a few audit findings to manage. But I'm not sure if you've seen this announcement about OnlyBoost.
I did see that. I thought that was pretty impressive. So you're going to be working with Convex somehow, right? Like balancing
Yes.
out the when Convex gets more voting power or more boost, or when Stakedao can earn more. That's what I understood.
Exactly. So basically, the idea is that in this market, when you have only Convex having VCRV, you don't have to ask yourself anything, right? You just put if you don't want to boost your own LPs, you just go on Convex, right? But now that Yearn has 10%, Stakedao 10%, Stakedao has 10%, Convex has 40%, 50%. So it's kind of comparable numbers, right? It's the same order of magnitude. But if you look at so basically someone who has some liquidity to stake should think about where they are going to find the best boost. And also a factor that made this question irrelevant in the past was the inflation of CVX. But now Convex reached nearly full inflation, full deployment of the token. So there's the inflation today doesn't offset the fees taken by Convex. You have so now looking for the best boost, looking for the best yield is kind of a tricky question. And you need to take into account many factors. You need to take into account the boost of each protocol, the fees they take, the incentive they give, etc. And of course, you need to take into account the dilution you are going to occur when you deposit, etc. So it's actually much more complicated than it seems. And OnlyBoost is a product which aims to do that for you. Basically, you stake in the OnlyBoost, and the OnlyBoost will allocate through Stakedao and Convex to maximize the boost, the yield, basically taking into account the boost, the fees, and the incentives, right? And the dilution of your deposit. So I think that's a pretty important step forward in improving, efficiency in this space. And of course, this will be replicable. We are already working on replicating this also on Balancer, and anywhere where you have several lockers, this will be a question that will occur. So yeah, we believe this OnlyBoost is going to be something good that could be changing a bit the space. And then you have the next move is also something that could be interesting to incentivize people to also, you know, use their boost fully while you know, while being locked directly without going through lockers, you know, using Paladin or stuff like that. And this is going to, you can see that the boost market is so underserved those days. So I think this will be the next evolution in this little space of the V tokens we're talking about.
Okay, very cool, very cool. I think I didn't see the update. My apologies, to be honest. But I think it's really cool if we can get like some kind of collaboration going on between different of these lockers to actually organically make it more efficient. I think that's just like, especially if it can be done like kind of permissionlessly, this would be awesome in my opinion. So yeah, definitely a big step forward. Maybe one more question now that I have the word. Are you guys competitive about collecting FXN tokens right now? Because I mean, like Convex is also locking it, and it's like a new token. So you could say we aim at achieving this much percentage of the supply locked or this much, or are you more like whatever we get is going to be awesome?
So I'm not sure I got it. Are you saying, are we competitive or competing?
More like, do you have a goal? Do you have a goal of like saying, if we would get this much tokens into our protocol, this would be really awesome for us, or something like that?
Yeah, I think we would like to reach probably at least 20-30%. That would be cool. I think that Convex is also doing a good job, so need to expect them to have a good chunk as well. And probably people will lock so directly. But I think that in the current state of things, there is no difference between using Stakedao and Convex, right? So there's no differentiating factor that could help us lock more than them. So we are putting a bit of SDT rewards to motivate people, and Convex is putting some CVX rewards. But the truth is, the differentiating factor at the beginning will be the liquidity, right? How liquid is the token? So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to be like an aggressive fight. I think we are all going to work in a good, good intelligence with Convex and with the Aladdin team, etc. And it's going to be cool.
One thing that I'd like to, kind of continue on the line of sort of like Stakedao's approach to FX and sort of their adoption of it. As part of the partnership, you guys minted a substantial amount of FETH. And I just kind of wanted to know sort of like what how do you guys sort of view FETH in terms of your treasury management? How have you guys been affected by centralized stablecoins within your own protocol and the DAO itself? So I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. We've always tried to have a kind of a balanced position between stablecoins and Ethereum in our treasury. And to be honest, like FETH is serving this purpose, right? It's kind of having like 90% stables and 10% ETH. So it's already quite convenient in this on this matter. And also the fact that it's decentralized is helpful. The only issues we had in the past with centralized stablecoin is when they depeg, it's never really good. But never know what could happen in the future, right? So it makes sense to be cautious.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, go ahead, Chag.
Oh, good. Hubert said everything.
I want to make sure you get your shot to get in whatever your thoughts and opinions are. We appreciate it, sir. Yeah, I think that's you're absolutely hit the nail on the head there in terms of the importance of FETH with it being decentralized and sort of still having that exposure that exposure to ETH. And then I had a question again about kind of the only boost because I think it's kind of a fascinating product. So can you kind of walk us through like from a user perspective? I mean, if does it work like you basically have like LPs on Curve, and then you would take those and place them into some sort of only boost vault, and then the user doesn't have to do anything. Can you kind of talk about that a little?
Yes, sure. So it will be literally the same experience as staking in a convex vault currently, right? Or a Stakedao vault. Actually, people who are already in Stakedao strategies won't even have to migrate. So it's, and kind of the cherry on top of the cake, I guess you probably all have tried Convex some days, and Convex basically, when you stake your LPs, they are sent directly to their locker and then to the curve gauche, right? And it's kind of an expensive transaction. So in terms of gas, if you have medium-sized amount, sometimes it's a bit painful, especially if you're, using Convex for, yielding on stable coins with low APR or whatever, right? On Stakedao only boosts, same as on current Stakedao strategies, we have a mechanism where the user can choose between doing this action, which is gas expensive, or paying a 0.1% per fee to have this done by someone else at some point. This is like some gas mutualization. So it's totally, you choose, right? Basically, it makes sense for all small users. When you have a small deposit, generally the gas cost will be more than 0.1%. So you would be better off paying this fee and waiting for someone else to deposit, and that will lock for you and take this fee, right? So that means that you can have basically strategies that will be using Stakedao and Convex in an optimal way and could be less gas expensive for you. So I think it's going to be pretty attractive.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know if too many people in here understand what that is, but the curve tokenomics are so complicated that I can definitely see only boost being very, very popular. Especially with protocols, and just not sure. When people don't know where to stake, they could just come there. I assume that's how it works. You'll just be able to go there, and it will just give you the optimal boost no matter what, whether it's with Stakedao or whether it's with Convex. That's a big deal. I like that. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Those tokenomics are so complicated. You need someone to do the work for you, right?
You need to be a mathematician so you can understand like where to go, and it's really too difficult. So I could see that product being used a lot. Yeah, it makes sense.
Nice. Thanks a lot.
Just out of curiosity, for Only Boost, have you guys sort of like incorporated like any sort of strategy for integrating concentrator or anything into that? Is that something that's you guys have looked into?
That was something I was about to say, actually. I think it would make sense for concentrator to use for their, like the harvesters to use only boosts instead of direct of convex votes, for example, because it would be fairly the same. but just with no trouble to have on whether it's going to be competitive compared to direct curve staking or going on Stakedao or on Yarn or whatever, right? So I think it would make a lot of sense for concentrator to migrate the harvesters on OmniBoost, and in the end, it will be good for everyone, right? Convex would have better boost as well, and it just leveraging more of the CRVs. Like you have basically the idea that, right, you have a certain amount of VCRV, and if you want to get the maximum rewards you can, you need to use a maximum amount of those VCRV. And if you use several protocols instead of just one, you just use more VCRV, right? So you get more rewards. As stupid as that. And I think it would make sense for concentrator to use OmniBoost for sure.
Very interesting. Yeah, I think well, Aladdin definitely has some designs on some new vaults for concentrator, and I think everything we're going to do everything we can to sort of maximize yield for them. So should be pretty interesting to see sort of how things like OmniBoost play a part in that in the future. So we shall see. It's early days, of course. DeFi advisor, you got anything else, sir?
No, nothing specific that much. Only if we want to expand about some stuff about the specific partnership we're discussing this time. If there's anything that anyone wants to mention or whatever. And just for me personally, definitely very excited about it. Very exciting to see the federation thickens, as I think Noah Seidman would have said or think. And I think it's quite important to see. It's quite important to see such, I would say, alliances being made, not only verbally, but also on the vaults and smart contracts level. And I think it's a big part of the whole industry's moving forward as a whole. And watching it as a game we should know how to play together, rather than just the false impression of competing. We're mostly competing against the traditional finance sector, and not really against each other. So the more we learn how to work together, the better for all of us, I believe. And much respect for both projects, for all they do, and for the partnership, of course.
Thanks. I concur with that. And just to let you know, guys, I put in a response to the tweet of this space, a link to some data on OmniBoost, some documentation, and mainly to some video, which is nice. And I advise watching it. And yeah.
That's funny. That's a cool video.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate it, sir. Cryptoprophet, do you have anything you want to, any final questions here before we close out the hour?
Yeah, maybe a bit unrelated to this space, but maybe interesting to know about Stakedao. Do you guys have any other VE tokens that you're planning on accumulating? Like maybe not anytime soon, but maybe some chance havers or interest areas or something. If you don't want to say, you don't have. If you don't want to say, you don't have to. But I'm just.
Why don't you tell them about what you're working on with Convergence?
So two different questions. So, first one, what are the future tokens? So it's a very good question. Currently, we are working also significantly toward the full automation of the process, including voting, including distributing vote incentives, etc. And when we have this full automation, it will be way easier for us to integrate as many lockers as we can, right? But yeah, some lockers are easier to integrate than others. I think amongst those we could integrate fairly easily in the future, there is CTR. That would be nice. There are also like some other projects, maybe Clev also, and some other projects such as Origin. Origin could be, it's one that has been on our roadmap for some time. And yeah, we thought about Idle as well. So yes, we have a few targets, but yes, first we deploy the products, and then we fully automate everything, and then we can grow as much as we can on this form. And then for the second question with convergence, I think maybe Shago can speak a bit better than me on this.
Yes, so Convergence wants to build on top of a Stakedao, but to be honest, I don't know what's public and what's not public yet about Convergence. So I know they want to build on top of Stakedao to accumulate as much as they can of SDCRV, and they also want to build on top of, obviously, SDT to be able to boost any position on Stakedao. If you are on top of Stakedao, you need that.
Yeah, their ambitions are pretty big. I mean, I don't know if it's alpha or not alpha, but I just know that just from talking from the group that their goals are to try and get curve APRs up to as high as 60%, which would be unbelievable using Stakedao's infrastructure. So I think that's pretty impressive.
Well, we are almost at 50%. 50%.
Oh well, maybe like 65%. I know they were trying to get a bigger boost, like a bigger boost for curve, which is pretty impressive.
And for that, you need the VSDT, which they will have.
Yeah, no, that's really impressive. Really impressive.
Well, guys, we appreciate you guys jumping on today to talk all things Stakedao and how you guys are approaching FX. So for just sort of closing notes for folks in the audience, SDFXN, it's live, it's available. You can go and use a liquid locker and put your FXN in there, and I have no idea what the APR is right now, but I know last I checked they were astronomically awesome. So
And also more important, you can vote for the booster community vote with your SDFMX.
Yes.
I think it will be next week or something like that. So if you have some SD token, you can vote for it.
Yes, so the community boosters that do lock in Stakedao will be able to vote for that. I believe that will be the first governance proposal going through the FX protocol. So
Yes.
That'll be something to kind of look forward to and kind of keep in the back of your mind as you kind of think of a strategy to lock your FXN tokens. But certainly Stakedao has a good battle tested product that Aladdin has been proud to launch with Stakedao. So everybody keep that in the back of your mind. Hubert, Chago, do you guys have any final closing thoughts before we wrap this baby up?
Yeah, just thanks for having us. Just want to state again how happy we are with this partnership, but also the other partnerships we have with Aladdin. I think concentrator partnership, it's only the beginning. Probably ASDCRV model can be replicated on a lot of interesting other lockers. Also, Clev is going to be something that could be. I mean, there are ways for us to partner stuff that we have discussed long time ago, never had the time because the Aladdin team is working day and night on new stuff. But yeah, just wanted to say I'm super happy with this partnership and the whole team, and it's been beneficial for everyone, and that's really cool. That's really cool.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you jumping on today.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me here.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
very much.
Good evening.
All right.
Thanks a lot, folks. It was a lot of fun.
Yep, absolutely. Everybody, please go hop in the Aladdin Discord and reach out to Stakedao if you have any questions as well. We appreciate everybody jumping on here this Twitter space and spending, well, for me and North American folks, your lunch hour with us. And for everybody else, we hope you have a good evening or a good morning or a good day in general. So we appreciate you guys and look forward to having more conversations about Stakedao and FX. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. Thanks, Paul.
Amen.
Cheers,
Amen.
guys. Thanks.
Thanks,
Have a
Paul.
good day.
Thanks,
Have a good
Paul.
day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, Kmets, for hosting as usual, and for all the Jewish folks out there. Chag Sukkot Sameach, happy Sukkot. And thanks for all the attention. Feel free to comment, ask, share, whatever. Bring us your thoughts, whether it's on the tweet, on Twitter, on the ATeam, on the FX account, on the Aladdin account, on the Aladdin server, wherever. By the way, on our FriendTech account as well, if you guys are interested. And thanks a lot, guys. Have fun. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
That's it, John. Bye
Bye,
for now.
everybody.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.